It all started a long time ago on Caleb's 11th birthday. Caleb had never had a pet before and always wanted one. This year we felt he was old enough to take care of a little critter, so we gave him a chipmunk. He was so happy. He couldn't wait until the party for the other guests to see his brand new pet. The girls at the party did not share his enthusiasm for the furry little rodent, but they settled down soon and were ready for cake and ice cream. And they would have had it too, only right after I lit the candles, the kind that send sparks off in all directions like a 4th of July sparkler, and I was on my way to the dining room. One of the sparks must have landed in the kitchen curtains. I didn't know it at the time. I was on my way to the dining room with the flaming cake. Well, the spark took hold real fast, and before we could finish "Happy Birthday, Dear Caleb," the kitchen was on fire, and everyone started screaming and falling over each other to get out the door. My husband and I gave up pretty quick trying to douse the flames, but we were able to toss a few items out the windows before the whole house went up in smoke. Well, being homeless is not a good way to start the year off, but thank the Lord we have family willing to open their arms and welcome us in our time of need. Just over the border in Tennessee lived our Uncle Cletus all by his lonesome. He said he had more than enough room for us. His words were warm, but the feeling that fell over us as we walked across the threshold was anything but inviting. It felt more like a prison than a home. And we've also found out that Uncle Cletus suffers a bit from dementia and gets his centuries mixed up, bless his heart. Next we headed north into Kentucky, where Uncle Billy Ray had heard about our fire and invited us to live with him. Since we hadn't seen him since he disappeared into the hills with that bride of his 10 years earlier, we thought, why not? It was nice to see him again after all those years and meet all his children. He lived in the mountain, in a cave. But the cold and the damp was so harsh on my poor Tabitha, she couldn't stop sneezing and coughing the whole time we lived there. So we said goodbye to Uncle Billy Ray and took off for Florida. Finally, we thought we could settle down for good, enjoy warm breezes, beautiful sunsets, and palm trees waving in the wind. Everything was going to be all right now. True, Uncle Bubba did have a rather unusual job in the entertainment industry, but he was good at it, and he made people smile. Plus, it paid enough to make his bills, so who were we to judge? He was so well-liked that he had a steady stream of visitors at home on his days off. Even with all his company, there was still plenty of room for us. So that's where we've lived ever since. Only now, whenever we celebrate birthdays, we do so without candles.